Revelio. Lumos. Levioso. Lumos.
Glad you're back.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready to redeem yourself?
I'm ready.
Brilliant.
Yes, Sebastian.
Then let... Ready to get thrashed? Apologies in advance.
Reparo. Levioso. Oh, there goes my wager. Protego. Stupefy. Come on. Levioso. 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 Stupefy. Protego. Stupefy. Levioso. That's all you've got. Stupefy.
Perhaps one day I'll sign up for a round.
Bravo!
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Hello, Lucan. Actually, I might come... Hello, Lucan. I'm ready for practice.
Glad you're keeping at it. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop...
Protego!
You'll get it!
Levioso!
That was... something.
Accio!
done.
Levioso!
That's it!
Protego! Levioso!
Keep trying. You'll get it.
Reparo! Lumos! Levioso! Lumos! Revelio! Protego! Accio! Levioso! Levioso! Accio!
Excellent fall. I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Assignment's all finished.
Perhaps I should stick to potions.
You could have gone a bit easier on me.
Yeah. Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was
Revelio.
before I invented flu powder.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to accommodate you and that you found success in your endeavors.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate, and keep your wand steady.
Controversial players who make up the legends of NBA offense.
Do you remember like the player that you would emulate when you were that age? Like so many kids now, it's like you for them. Like who was your model?
The model was Steve Nash and Reggie Miller.
The three-point shot has become an enormous part of basketball, but it took a long time for coaches and players to realize just how efficient it could be. When Miller entered the league in 1998, Larry Bird held the career record for three-pointers made with 357. Steph Curry's made more in a single season. Among scoring leaders in the playoffs, Miller was one of the few who was bombing threes at modern rates back in the mid-90s. And the difference between his three-point shooting and the average top scorer then is similar to the difference between Curry's edge over the top scorers of his prime. Only there was no concept that these shots were more valuable back then because raw field goal percentage was the standard for efficiency, and Miller was solid but unspectacular by that measure. No one noticed the difference between long twos and threes, so these two trips were merely seen as 50% field goal shooting instead of just How does Jimmy Butler keep doing this? In the last 2 years, he's gone from 22 points per game during the season to 29 points per game in the playoffs. And I've never heard a good explanation for how he's able to upgrade like this. I mean, watch these 4 plays from the opening quarter of the Eastern Conference Finals, where playoff Jimmy torched the Celtics for 35 points. Does anything jump out? How has he gone for 40 6 times in the last 2 postseasons after not having a single 40-point game in the regular season since 2017? Well, after watching him closely, I think I have an idea. Jimmy Butler is quietly a basketball genius. It's subtle at first. Instead of bending defenses around, he usually just takes what they give him. On this first play, he wants Bam to set the screen because he knows Rob Williams will drop. He hesitates a little to get Rob moving back to the basket, but that's so his step back is basically uncovered. Butler has been around league average from the mid-range for a while, but this year he shot these at 47%, so if defenses throw a drop coverage at him, he'll just walk into comfortable looks. He calls Williams up again on that second play we saw, and this is just to set a trap for him. He goes to pull up at the free throw line, but gets a little closer, so Rob goes to challenge the shot, and that's all to set up the up and under, and he draws a foul. That was a ticky-tack call, but Butler is an absolute master of using pump fakes in the paint, attacking a retreating big man only to stop on a dime, spin, and fake so he gets that little lean and the and one. This is basically his version of a dream shake, where you stop and turn only to use the defender's recovering momentum against him. And so much of Jimmy's driving game and short mid-range works because of these pivots and pump fakes. Here he's dancing with Derek White, runs into traffic but pump fakes White off his feet for another soft foul. But the free throws aren't key here, the setup is, because a few minutes later he's isolated against White again, drives left into almost identical help, but now White is glued to the floor on those up fakes, so Jimmy uses his size to wheel back for a fade. And this is the thing. Butler counters based on how he feels the defense playing him. This one is all about manipulating the shot-blocking Mitchell Robinson, slowly coming off the screen and looking at the roll man twice to see what Robinson commits to, then driving left only to stop and pivot. Robinson thinks it's safe to go back to his man, but Butler's too big and it's a great look. A few minutes later, he's attacking out of pick and roll, drives into the defense, and when he hops to pivot, he just shoots it instead. And when you've seen that jump stop enough, you aren't always expecting the shot. His feel in these little moments around the basket is almost telepathic, driving into the paint and pausing on the jump stop because he sensed Drew Holiday in the air, then jumping to shoot. In the previous game in that series, he's attacking off the dribble, goes to that jump stop, but instantly flips one up. And he's shooting right away here to throw off his man and the help shot blocker who isn't ready to jump. Impressive. By using all these jump stops, fakes, and pivots, Butler is essentially disguising his pitches here. So even when he catches it off a cut like this, the fake and the shot look the same. Speaking of cuts, Jimmy is a master of moving around and finding little creases in the defense. Normally, when a team sets up an empty side pick and roll, it's so they attack into all this open space. But Butler knows they want to bring an extra defender over to neuter the action, so he instinctively floats away to the open area on the baseline for a little jumper. Watch him read Jason Tatum's eyes here, so he can sneak backdoor undetected, and he has a layup on this one, but they just miss him. On this one, Giannis Antetokounmpo is matched up with him in the backcourt, so Jimmy realizes he can out-sprint him down the court, and that lets him waltz into a foul line pull-up. His movement instincts even show up on the offensive glass, where he drives and dishes here, immediately realizes the shot is going up, so he slips into that open space and tips it in for an and one. And all this works because Jimmy is so big, listed at 6'7" and 230 pounds. But it also works because he's a master of using that size and strength, sealing defenders for easy catches at the rim, and you'll also see him get a ton of cheap buckets in transition by leaking out and out-leaping defenders for passes in the air like this right around the basket. Fittingly, this innocuous technique set up maybe the biggest shot of his career. Trailing by 2 with 2 seconds left, he threw this in while falling down to force overtime in the clinching game against Milwaukee. And hey, if Michael Jordan's most famous highlight has a little push-off, so can Jimmy's. But to me, the ingeniousness on this play is that the pass arrives late. Jimmy recognizes that, so he stops to seal his defender on one side of the hoop because he tracks the ball so well. Reading the flight of the ball,
Good work. It's for you.
Accio! Incendio!
Excellent defensive skills. Getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself.
Accio! Incendio! Accio! Incendio!
Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it?
Accio! Incendio! Lumos! Levioso! Incendio! Levioso! Accio! Levioso! Incendio! Revelio. Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
I'm sorry, the others.
That's kind of you. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I bought my gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with...
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett in a store, and now those poor losers have taken...
Sounds as if you caused the smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get... I don't think I...
I'll see what I can do.
I'll be back.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Revelio.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig! I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Accio! Levioso!
Lumos.
Accio! Incendio!
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
Revelio!
Lumos. Sebastian, there you are.
I was hoping to see you. I was in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack and saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow.
Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
I've never even met him. Perhaps he mistook me for another student.
If you say so. I won't press you now, but you will have to tell me what's going on at some point. You might need me. So, why were you looking for me?
I need to find something for Professor Fig, but it's in the restricted section of the library.
He can't get it himself?
He was called away by Black at the last moment. I suppose I could wait to get a note from him, but...
You want to show some initiative.
Precisely. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madame Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books, so do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try. We must remain unseen.
If I can see you, the prefects might be able to as well. Be careful.
Blast! The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase.
Damn! You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me?
The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves?
The key. Here it is. That wasn't so difficult after all. Now to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say.
Ghost, don't let her see you.
Should be in the clinic. There's no need for us to be skulking about.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
little friend, out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't you...
I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where's that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor. Reparo! Revelio! Lumos! Revelio. Of course, traces of ancient magic. There must be more to this room. Lumos. That's it! Revelio. Revelio. Where might this lead? Revelio. Reparo. Ah, I need to wake up that rune over there. Reparo. Incendio. Levioso. Revelio. Accio. Not surprising. Guards at the ready. Levioso. Incendio. Accio. Protego! Revelio. Incendio. Levioso. Protego. Levioso. Revelio. This must be the way forward, but to where? Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. Revelio. Protego. Levioso. Protego. Levioso. Revelio. Levioso. Levioso. Protego. Levioso. Levioso. Incendio. Protego.
Levioso! Levioso!
It is a book after all.
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor McCaw.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too, but we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Revelio.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
That life is behind me. I promise. Let us keep our heads about this. Oh, I'm truly sorry. I didn't mean. If I could undo all that happened that day, I would.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood? makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
What? That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. Now I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Revelio.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Perhaps you can meet me after herbology and show me how I'm supposed to do that thing with the soil. Darling, mind us going to one of the greenhouses to practice.
Revelio. Not sure how I'd fare in a little bit.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
It is good to see you, my friend.
Hello, Natty. How are you? I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
I am well, but I have been worried about you, my friend.